Second, Mr. Rosendich. Questions, comments, corrections? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Citizens' comments. Did you want to speak?
No, I'm doing the construction update.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, then you will. Number 4, construction update. Please state your name so everybody knows.
So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cody Shanks. I am the recently added assistant street superintendent. With that being said, summer has officially began and it's been a busy start to the season. Weather's been pretty good for construction. Our summer help has arrived this week. We had one last week, the remainder of them this week. Weed notices are flying in from the public. Of the first round of letters that went out, we had to mow 2 out of the 12 notices. We currently have 28 notices out now, and we'll follow up with them this week, along with several other calls we received since Friday, which was about another 20, so them are coming in hot. Special thanks to the cleanup crew that came in after hours to open up roads from last Tuesday's storm event. I think we had 4 hours Tuesday night. We had some guys in, and the whole next day we had a crew of 5 that worked all day trying to get that cleaned up. So Mark, our city forester, is still working on cleaning up parks and stuff today. So the ditching crew set several new culverts for driveway permits throughout the city. Today, pulverizing began on Arlington between Lincoln and Cypress, Larch 5th to Adler, Adams between Upham and McMillan, and Briarwood between Lincoln and Schmidt. Briarwood's ditching and tiling will begin this week, and paving for Arlington, Larch, and Adams is scheduled for June 9th, weather depending. The Adams overlay between 8th and Arlington is completed. That was paved last, would be the 26th, last Wednesday. The concrete crews spent several days repairing sidewalks due to damaged terrace trees and addressing miscellaneous patches throughout the city. West McMillan's overlay began this morning. We closed down West McMillan from St. Joe's to Fig will be the first phase of this project. Just a reminder that we ask that you please slow down on this detour route of the closure. We did receive some phone calls from concerned residents on St. Joe's this morning, which we expected. I guess we changed the routine of many people driving to work, so we expect most of the rest of the summer to complete this large project on McMillan from St. Joe's to Central. So please be patient with us because in the long run, the inconvenience of this construction will turn out to be a nice road when it's completed. Paving temperatures have come up, so we have now started our street painting process. Finally, a big weekend coming up with the 40th annual Dairy Fest celebration. It starts out with Dairy Fest at the fairgrounds beginning the Dairy Fest breakfast, at the fairgrounds from 5:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. South Central will be closed beginning early Saturday morning for the reserve parade until 1:30 p.m. And the Wenzel Plaza area will be closed from late Thursday night to allow vendors to start setup in the 200 block around the plaza and reopen around Saturday at 4 p.m. With that being said, I'll do my best to answer any questions this time.
Mr. Rosendich.
Thank you. My question is about the West McMillan.
Yeah.
Last summer, there was a portion of that was repaired as well. And there was that electronic sign that was put out. And I thought there was we were going to purchase it from the county, if anybody can remember that right. It probably would have been a good usage of that as well, especially with this big project. I use that road every day. And I mean, I knew it was coming up, but there was a lot of citizens that obviously didn't. And I'm just curious to where that electronic sign stands, if it's something we're going to be purchased from the county.
Okay, Dan?
Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't remember if it was still available or what the situation was this year, but yeah, in hindsight, that would have been a very helpful thing to have. We'll do some checking and see if it's something that's available, unless you know more about
I
it.
can answer, yeah. So I talked to Brandon with the county and they're actually DOT, signboards and they were unavailable, unfortunately. So, we did reach out to try and get notices from West McMillan and from, North Central.
So does it stand, I thought there, Chris had talked about purchasing that last year. Does anybody remember that? It just seems like that was something that, I remember him talking about, they wanted to get rid of it and they were maybe going to purchase it. No big deal right now, obviously, but with that big, that's gotta be one of the busiest streets in Marshfield. It would have been nice to have something like that up.
Dan will check into that. So, anybody else have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5?
All right, first to start off, as Dan gets the plans up, I'd like to thank Josh Moritz, who completed the original plans back in 2004, and then Tim Cassidy, Lance Oldham, Sean Miller, and James Purton for all their assistance to modify ththese plans and prep them for construction standards in such a short amount of time. The first page being page 3678 ECIP, which is our erosion control plan. This is required for all construction projects and showing where the locations of silt fence and ditch checks and inlet protection. The next page, I'll go to, yeah, right there. This is the sanitary sewer and storm. You can see this comes through an easement from Sycamore Street. This sanitary and storm crossing was installed with the Sycamore Street project in anticipation of this project coming up. One thing to note, we do show sidewalk on this project, but only locations where sidewalk will be installed will be the locations on the start of the project where we have existing driveways entering into the right-of-way. And a special note too, on the, if we go to the next page, yeah, that the right-of-ways of Cypress and Birch were created when the original properties along Fifth Street were platted. Homeowners with the existing driveways on Birch and Cypress will have to be assessed for or will be assessed for the individual entrance work that's associated with their specific property. On page 507, which is the start there, we'll be starting on Fifth and Cypress, tying water main into Fifth Street, and the sewer will begin just south of the first lots at station 10 plus 50. Storm sewer will start at station 11 plus 15. Page 508, which is approaches our low point for the underground infrastructure, which is at station 1340, just before the cul-de-sac. At Catch Basin 37, this is a location where the 100-year storm water overflow location is. So our storm sewer on this project is designed to a 1 in 10-year event. In the event that we see rain events greater than the 10-year event, we need safe routing for the stormwater that comes off of these streets and these properties. Therefore, there is an easement that continues from that location to the northwest, and then continues up to the detention pond. So, go to the next page. On page 509, as we turn to the east and progress south again towards along Birch Avenue, we climb the hill up towards Fifth Street. Again, the sanitary sewer will end about midpoint at station 2174, which is just short of the two developed lots. And the storm sewer will end at station 2217 with an area drain. Water main will continue to Fifth Street, thus creating a looped water main system. All the water main and sanitary sewer submittals have been sent to the DNR, so they now have those and those are being reviewed. In the next page, we have the existing dry or semi-dry pond, which was constructed to meet stormwater quantity standards for the entire developed site. At the time that it was constructed back in 2004, and this was before we had a MS4 permit with the DNR. Now, the pond will have to be converted to a wet basin to meet current stormwater quality standards. And then the next page just basically shows proposed grades for sidewalk for the project, when and if sidewalk is warranted in for this development. And the final page is the drainage ditch for the 100-year storm, basically the routing from that cul-de-sac to the northwest and then north to the pond itself. Okay, from this point, I'd like to make a recommendation that the design plans as submitted for the city subdivision be approved and for construction.
Motion by Mr. Fire, second. By Mr. Fisher. Comments, questions? Dan?
Tom, can you just refresh our memory when the bids were due on this?
June 26th or 28th.
Okay.
So, and the first ad was in the Marshfield News Herald last Saturday. So,
So at our first meeting in July, we'd expect to have the bids back for this.
yes.
Questions? Ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Number 6, recommended items for future agendas. Adam, did you have something? Oh, okay. A motion by Mr. Rosendich to adjourn, second by Mr. Fisher. Thank you.